Welcome back to another Hearts of Iron 4 exploit. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to paradrop non-paratrooper divisions inside of enemy territory. Now, this is not the exploit where somebody was doing a while ago where you could say, for example, drop a paratrooper here, and then once it's landed, you just convert the template over to a cavalry or a motorized, and then just go towards the capital. The one I'm going to be showing you guys today is actually being able to drop Marines, Mountaineers, infantry, whatever it is you want, really, inside of enemy territory, and it's trained and is fully equipped from the get-go and ready to fight. So that's what we're going to be covering today with the exploit. I'm going to go over two things to begin with. One, the required things you need, and second is the things that are totally optional. First off, for the requirements, you're going to need transport planes and fighters to get air superiority. Second off, another thing you need is definitely a paratrooper template. Third off that you would definitely need is going to be airfields and a paratrooper template. Alright, now the things that are optional that are incredibly helpful if you want to do this in a larger scale is any of the special forces templates that you're going to want to paradrop. So we're going to want to paradrop Marines around the enemy. Another thing that would help out a lot is the Special Forces research here, which is expanded Special Forces program, so you can deploy more Special Forces at a single time. And then third off, if you're the United States, something else that's incredibly helpful is this focus here to increase your capacity or your multiplier so you can get more Special Forces. And then finally, another thing that's optional is a general with an out of supply grace if you're going to do this with Marines, Mountaineers, or any kind of Special Forces. Really any kind of thing like that, because this will also give you, or this guy will give you, a out of supply bonus or penalty reduction, really whatever it is you want to call it. So that's the required things and the really optional things. So without too much more talking, let's get into how to do this. So it's actually incredibly simple, and really you need to have the game paused for just a couple seconds. If it's a multiplayer and you do this, it's a little bit tricky because you have to pause it and really unpause it before the enemy can detect that you paused it. So anyway, here's what you do. You get a bunch of paratrooper divisions out that you want and try to make templates similar to the paratrooper division template. So we have a paratrooper division template here and a marine template, and it's actually set up the exact same way. 10 battalions of special forces and the exact same support companies. Now the reason we did that is because now they are incredibly similar in the cost. Next up, what you're going to do is start to paradrop. You're going to set up orders about whatever it is you're going to want to do. We're going to want to say paradrop around Nuremberg. So like this, and then we'll just drop a couple under it. Alright, now that you have that set up, while the game is paused, you're going to click activate order. Now what you're going to do is swap the templates over to the things that you want. Now the reason we made those templates very similar is because you don't need a lot of extra equipment, and in fact sometimes you will need even less equipment, so this way they're still totally equipped. So next we're going to use, well, we don't have Mountaineers, but it's basically done the exact same way. So we're just going to drop a couple more Marines, and then for these guys we're going to drop Cavalry divisions, because again they are the exact same setup. Now you're going to let them drop into the enemy territory, and as you can see, we are paradropping, and I think they actually just got air superiority. Yep. Alright, so now that we actually have air superiority, what you want to do is click glider planes if your guy actually has these, and that will help out the organization when they first land. And as you can see, we just dropped 8 20-width infantry divisions inside of the enemy territory that have a lot of support companies. Now, literally, you can pretty much only do this with things like cavalry divisions, infantry, really anything that's very similar to a paratrooper template in terms of the requirements. So really anything inside of, I'm just going to create a new template here really quick to show you guys. Really the only things you can do this with is any support company you wish, and literally just basic infantry, Marines, and then cavalry divisions. That's it. That's all you can do it with. Anything that requires mechanized, tanks, motorized, it will not work for that unless it is a support company variant. But this is still a pretty cool exploit regardless, and is able in this game. I'm going to be honest, I think we're not going to be able to win, but yeah, as you can see, we have quite a good chunk of attack against enemy divisions. So yeah guys, that is today's exploit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and maybe you'll have a little bit of fun inside of a game. But once, if you have air superiority, don't forget to also send those planes over and begin doing air supply missions, so that way your guys behind enemy territory are good to go. And I know I said one more thing a couple times now, but before actually swapping the template over, make sure when you have the guys on the airfield, you train them up and exercise them as long as possible, so that way they're the highest level, so when you do swap them over to something else and they do get replaced, their experience doesn't absolutely just plummet off to a side of a cliff. Anyway guys, again, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like these kind of things, and I will see you guys next time. Stay awesome.